Hello and welcome to another update video about Atom. The Atom chart might have completed a wave 1 rally here. The microstructure isn't entirely clear, but I can make the argument of a 5-wave move to the upside, which means that the relevant support level is down now at $7.74. Again, that doesn't mean the wave 2, which might be unfolding, has to move down to that level. Absolutely not. Pullbacks tend to be very shallow in generally a bullish market environment, but I can only highlight the relevant Fibonacci levels that are typically, relevant for a wave 2 pullback. Okay, so we have $9.65, $8.87, $8.16, and $7.24. Where in a let's say in a bear market or in a bearish environment, typically the wave 2 pullbacks can be very deep. This one could be very shallow, but it's not predictable. Okay, so it's the entire range the market can use. Important is that we don't break below $7.24. So what we haven't done yet, or what we haven't seen yet, is a break below the previous swing low. There would be additional confirmation that this wave 2 is unfolding. We have seen a break below a trend line. So at the moment, I think price action sort of would, let's say, suggest that this wave 2 might have started. We have seen as well bearish divergences, okay, and the price dropped below the trend line. If now that retest is successful of this trend line, and the price then breaks below the last swing low, which was at $10.40, then I think we can conclude that the wave 2 is finally unfolding. It might be unfolding right now. I mean, we can argue that this might be a small 5-wave move down. Then we have an A, B, C structure in wave 2. This would be a short-term bearish scenario, but within an overall bullish scenario where ideally a next wave up in a third wave takes the price higher to, I would say, $20 and plus. Ideally, overall, in this larger degree third wave, so we're exploring here if this is a 1-2 setup within a larger degree third wave. This larger degree third wave should take the price to $24.40, okay, or more. That is really only the minimum you would expect for such a third wave. Condition is that the $7.24 level is obviously holding. Yeah, and that's the main support. Invalidation point for this thesis is the $6.18 level, but already below $7.24, the probabilities for a bullish follow-through reduce significantly. There are certain resistance levels along the way. The price has already reacted to the first one. I made you aware of that one in previous videos. Here, the $12.35 level. Then we've got $15.79 or $15.80 and $20.20 next. Above that, we then start to talk about the target range for this third wave here. And then we should still get a 4 and a 5. And then we'll have to see how it carries on from there, because this could simply be an A, B, C structure that's unfolding, or this is a larger wave 1. There are different structures that could play out there. But first of all, it's important to understand that looking at the bigger picture, this move up is not clearly a 5-wave move. I mean, it can be a leading diagonal, but we have a lot of overlaps there. So it's not an impulse. It has to be at least a diagonal, maybe even a corrective move. So you can count this as a 3-wave move or a 5-wave move. I count it as a 5-wave move, but still, we just need to be aware it's not an impulse. That always makes the longer term a little bit less reliable. Then the move down in a B wave, yes, all good. Price did hold the long-term support at $2.42, didn't even get close. So the assumption is that possibly this C wave has started. There are a few issues with this chart. First one is obviously the move in the beginning. Second one is that this, what I have labeled here as wave 2, came down a little bit too low to be really reliable for a 1-2 setup. That's just something to be aware of, okay? But at the moment, as long as the support level is holding that I mentioned, follow through to the upside seems quite likely. Again, it all comes down to, is this retest of the trend line now successful from below? Which means, right, do we test it and then does this happen? If we get already an escalation higher, then it will not be a reliable wave 2. I might still count it as a wave 2, but again, it would be extremely shallow. Something that you generally see in crypto in a market like that. It's not predictable. It would be less deep than ideal, this wave 2. But I always say it, in bullish markets, pullbacks tend to be shallow in crypto, but some are not, and it's just extremely difficult to predict when is there a shallow one or not. So basically, you just have to babysit the charts, which I can't do in a video, so I can only share with you the relevant levels. And then when you're trading this, obviously, either you just use the levels and you scale in slowly, or you have to find a position when the market attempts a turnaround, which can happen at an instant. So that's really then the short-term trading. That's my update about Atom. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.